Oh, my goodness. Good morning. Good morning, Jesse McRae.
We're back.
We're back. October 25th. My man.
Rodney Woods.
Jesse McRae the third.
Tag team back again.
Oh, yeah. Hit him, Jay. Good morning. Good morning, listening audience and viewing public. Good morning. It's October 25th. Thursday morning, man. Thursday morning. We back. Oh, my God. We had a great show last week. For all those who missed it, go out and view us at Penn Global News.
Man, it was a Penn tent revival. Okay, there was prayer cloths, testifying, trays getting passed around.
Yeah,
you served them last week.
You served them last week. Hey, man, look, I woke up after coming back from that trade show last weekend in Austin, Texas. It was just, it was on my heart.
Yeah. And
we had to deliver some messages last week for those who listened and those who viewed us. But we're back again.
Hey, man.
October 25th.
Yes, sir.
And
yes, sir.
We're here again. I tell you, man. But, man, hey, welcome again to the show, bro.
Hey, man, I'm going to tell you, it's always good to be here. As we always say, it's good to be seen, not viewed.
Always good to be seen and not viewed. Don't get it twisted. I'm trying to tell you. But, hey, good morning. Good morning. Penn Global News.
Great show
Unified Network in Frisco, Texas.
We trusted the process to get through traffic to get to Unified Network Studios in Frisco, Texas. Let me tell you, sometimes that process gets a little hectic.
It gets a little hectic.
Here's the thing. Real quick humor moment. You know, you can plan all you want for the trip. Every news station gives you the layout of areas that you should avoid. Yeah. But I tell you, no matter what time I get on that tollway, there always seems to be two things. The person that's in the middle lane going just fast enough or just slow enough for you not to pass them, and then the truck in the left lane that never should have been over there anyway. Man, I got here by the hair of my chin.
Oh,
but I'm glad to be here because I know that we're going to continue a great show. Last week, we talked about trusting the process, certification process, capital access process, and I know that this week we're going to segue into really where the rubber meets the road, and that's the revenue. Trusting the process for going through procurement, but understanding that procurement has many of its benefits based on the certification that you have. So, Mr. Woods, I know we're ready to give it.
Hey, it's about, we just kind of continue from last week.
Yes, sir.
You know, it might not be as rough as it was last week, and I told him last week I will not apologize for how I felt and what I wanted to say. But this week, again, it's still trusting the process. And a lot of times, you know, we as minority businesses, we hold a certain certification. And we go to the local councils. And I remember going through the process with Toyota. You know, Toyota used to always say, Rodney, you know, we love what you do, but we're not going to be able to pay you any more money until you get certified.
Put a pin in it.
Put a pin
Pun intended.
in it.
Hold on 1 second. So we love what you do.
We love what you do.
You have demonstrated your ability to add value.
Added value.
However,
you
need to get certified.
Certified as a minority business.
For us to do more business with you.
For us to continue. And I didn't know how to really take it, you know, Jesse, when they were telling me these things. And actually, you know, it's funny. You know, now that she's gone on to this big stage.
Oh, you wouldn't be talking about the incomparable Adrian Trimble. Yes, ma'am.
She's going to this big stage now as the president of National Minority Supply Development Council. And years ago, she was like, Rodney, we love what you do, but if you don't get certified, we're not going to be able to pay you any more money. I'm like, Adrian, what do you mean by that?
Not pay you as much.
Pay me.
Not pay you less.
No,
pay you anymore.
Now, I may be throwing you on the bus, Adrian, but that's how I took it back then.
But here's the thing, though.
I didn't understand what it meant then, need to be certified. I didn't understand.
He appreciated your candor.
I did. So, in case you view this, I didn't throw you on the bus, you or John, but I didn't understand what you meant by, you know, getting certified. But she was like, hey, you know, you got to trust the process. You need to, you know, Rodney, go to your local council in Texas. At this time, National Minority Supply Development Council, but it was DFW, Minority Business Council, ran by Margot Posey. You know, and Margot had been running DFW Minority Business forever and a day. And I still didn't really understand, and I'm like, why do I need to be certified? You know, and I think I said this a long time ago in some of my previous shows, way back when.
Way back.
That why do I need to be certified? I got my NAACP card, right?
If you don't know you black,
I said, I
you
know.
knew then.
I know. They said, you a minority business. I'm like, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
a black business. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I got my own money. I got my own checking account, and I got my NAACP. I'm a lifetime member. So I'm good. So what are you talking about get certified?
Yeah.
Rodney, you have to trust in the process that you need to go through to get certified. I'm like, okay, well, what does that mean? Well, go to your local council, DFW, Minority Business Council, and get certified so that, A, we can count our spend with you. And I was like, what the does that mean? You know what I mean? See, I didn't say it, folks. I didn't say what it was. But I'm like, what does that mean? Well, Rodney, we track spend.
Sure.
And count spend with minority businesses, which is why we have this thing called diversity and inclusion.
And that gets to one
Yeah.
of the points that we tried to send home last week is there's the real institutional commitment now.
Yeah.
One of those 3 C's, concept, commitment, and culture.
Yeah.
The concept was 25, 30 years ago about diversity and inclusion.
Well, it was affirmative action.
It was back then.
It was affirmative action.
Yeah.
You know, back then.
Back then.
And then it came to more diversity and inclusion.
Right.
You know?
Right. But this time, with
Yeah.
D&I, in pursuit of ROI,
Yeah.
there was a commitment for those firms that could demonstrate their ability to add value. They got to participate in this wonderful thing called commerce. So when we talk about that commitment and we highlight the Toyotas of the world,
Yeah.
what do you think are maybe 1 or 2 of the most important things for an emerging supplier to consider once they've made the decision? They've gotten past the concept of being certified because now they know.
Yeah.
They've made a decision to commit.
Now you know.
Now you know. They made a decision to commit to going through the process of being certified. But what are some of the 1 or 2 other things that they need to be prepared to do as they get ready to now check that box of the certified, check that box that they're in line with their local council,
Yeah.
and be positioned to get that procurement contract?
Well, in a lot of cases, and what I've learned over the years, you know, definitely being with Toyota and Toyota finally let me, you know, work with other corporations and stuff, you know, i.e. with Keith Eakins at Volkswagen and, you know, Art McClellan at General Motors at the time and all these other companies that I got a chance to engage with. I learned a lot of things, you know, why diversity was so important. But a lot of times the major corporations, they just want you to be able to really do good business. Although they are counting your spend, you know, to their bottom line so that they're giving money back to the communities that, you know, they serve, right? Because you as a minority or an African-American individual, you're still buying my cars, my products, my services.
Like with Toyota, they say,
Right.
hey, we want to build what we sell.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's all important, you know, to the corporation. And I think a lot of people get it, you know, misunderstood. But I've learned over the years, yes, it's still a game.
It is that.
It's still a game, and it's a business game. It's a business, but they want you to be certified as a minority business because, you know, you're coming from a certain community, certain demographics, and, you know, it's giving back. But giving back in a way that, A, you're hiring people from your own community.
Job creation.
Job creation is everything to the corporation too, you know, plus now you can go shop at Tom Thumb. You can go shop at Macy's with John Munson's at Macy's.
Yeah,
John, I plugged you in, John, for Macy's, right?
Bring back the red apple sale.
Right.
We've not been right since the late 90s when Macy's had the red apple sale. That's all I'll say about that.
Right. But it's like, you know, now you can do these things. You have a check coming in.
Yeah.
That you can, you know, serve yourself, serve your family, buy your kids clothes. You know, now that, you know, most of our kids want the cell phones, they want the cars. It's just a mandatory thing. It's just automatic.
But you also have the resources to make sure
resources.
that you honor your fiduciary responsibility to your investors.
Yeah, absolutely.
And to that client to reinvest in the business to continue to have the capacity to scale.
Right.
So we certainly don't want to leave that. Make
No,
your Maserati payment,
yeah.
but also honor your commitment.
But Jesse
to your
gave you a
investors.
Maserati, so you better be, if you're working with Toyota, you better be driving a Toyota.
Tercel,
right, you working
Camry.
with Ford.
That's right.
You better be driving Ford. You working with, you know, with Chrysler.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you need to be
Yeah.
driving that Fiat or that Chrysler vehicle. You know, with Lottie. You know,
yeah.
we saw Lottie back. We
Yes,
took
we
pictures
did.
with Lottie,
Yes,
so
we did.
We're
Yes,
gonna
we
shout
did.
out to
Yes,
Lottie
we
as
did.
well, and Reggie at GM. You know, he had a good time at the party.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
But you know, long and short, when you got certified as a minority business, you got to use it. You know, and it's to your advantage. as a minority business to use that certification and that number to try to do more business with more corporations. Because every corporation that is saying that we believe in diversity and inclusion in the D&I, you know, you have an opportunity to work with them. Now, what I will tell you, and I'll say this to all vendors, it doesn't guarantee you to get work.
Not at all.
It does not.
We keep coming back to compete.
Yeah, it does not. And you're going to compete.
Yep.
You know, you're going to compete in business. If you're playing sports, you're going to compete in sports. If you're doing a spelling bee, you're competing against other people who can spell just as well as you can. So
Cash.
Right.
C-A-S-H.
Not K-A-S-H.
No.
I lost.
That's right.
So you're going to compete. So I want to make sure I'm clear that certification does not guarantee your contract. It does not.
But you know, part and parcel to that, as we were kind of getting into the spirit of last week's show, is making sure that the mindset is right, that you are coming in to compete for business that has been earmarked to allow you to compete for it.
Yeah, and we still, Jesse, we still, and you and I go back and forth on a lot of things, so we make sure we play the devil's advocate and the cause and contrast.
Yeah.
We know what it is because we're there, but we do play the cause and contrast because you're still asking the same questions as well.
Yep.
But it doesn't say that, A, you definitely get a contract and there is a straight commitment, right? You know, and when you say there's a straight commitment, you know, for us to have all this diverse business, I beg to differ. I beg to differ in some points because some corporations, and if I remember correctly, it's 446 major corporations that spend money with diverse business, but they spend money with everybody too. But with diverse business, they say, hey, I'm a major corporation, and i.e. I'm Microsoft, I'm Dell, I'm Apple, and you know, shout out to Scott Viles at Apple, who will bring us in to talk to his team.
Sure.
But I believe in diversity and inclusion. I'm looking for qualified minority businesses. They're looking for other businesses as well, majority and everything else, but there's 446%. I believe in diversity and inclusion, meaning that you got to have a certification number to really go do business if you're in that inclusion space.
So they made a commitment that if you can check this box,
there's an opportunity. That might be a real opportunity.
Right.
It's not to say there's not an opportunity for you to work today as a marketing firm, a PR firm, you know, like with Robin and her company as a PR firm. It's not to say that you can't work for them.
You certainly
But they're saying that there might be a better opportunity as a minority-owned business that you now can go back and work with Apple or Microsoft or Dell or Toyota or Walt Disney with Leonard and Carla if you got a certification. And it's not to say that you're not going to get the contract, and it's not to say that you are going to get the contract. They're just saying that it might be a smaller lane, you as a minority business, to work with us because it's easier to work with minority suppliers that are smaller in scale but looking to grow.
Hence, we talk about positioning.
Okay.
There's been a commitment to help position these firms to compete for specific opportunities that have been circled or earmarked.
Yeah.
Now, to your point, those 446 corporations are spending 40x of whatever they're earmarking. They're earmarking $1.5 billion. They're spending $46 billion. That pretty much tells you that there's a larger piece of the pie that's out there.
Okay.
But to our point last week, and we're getting back into this week to make sure that it resonates with our viewers, is the certification is a part of the process that you must trust.
Yeah.
The audience that's positioning these opportunities for you to compete, you must trust. And we come back, I know that we're going to get into the meat of it, which is once you have that audience, you must demonstrate your ability to do that.
Absolutely. So we're going to come back after the break here at PN Global News. I'm Rodney Woods.
Jesse McRae.
We'll be back after the break.
In a minute.
Marie, you have prediabetes.
Prediabetes? I don't have time to eat right or exercise. I'm a busy mom.
Oh, you're a busy mom.
Yeah.
This is great news. Busy moms never get prediabetes.
Wait, what?
Let me just... Yeah, this is all the people at risk for prediabetes, and way over here, busy moms. No?
Welcome back. Penn Global News.
Well, that was short, man.
I know.
That
October
was short.
25th.
I mean, we don't want to leave. I almost feel like we're just getting unduly interrupted.
Hey, man, listen.
You know, but necessary message, great message.
Yeah.
You know, that's one of the things that I've really come to appreciate.
Yeah.
Being here at Unified Networks in Frisco, Texas,
Yeah.
is outside of my commute, and I did complain a little bit.
And I commuted too.
Yeah.
Every Thursday.
Every Thursday.
I want you to know we're driving here every Thursday.
and we're trying to get positioned so that when 10 a.m. Central Standard Time hits, we're ready to give you 43 minutes of just pure 5-star content. But I got to go back to something real quick. So we come into the studio today. This makes the third or fourth time now I've come in and there's no donuts. There's no coffee. The thing I love about Unified Networks in Frisco, Texas is you're going to get a 5-star venue. You're going to get the best technology. You're going to get a competent, capable, funny staff. But, you know, like we were talking about in the last show, it's not just a matter of getting the client, it's a matter of keeping the client. And I will tell you, you can keep me with apple fritters and really, really strong Folgers. Just thought I'd put that out there.
I think Jess is putting his plug in. Ed, Court, Jameson, I think he's putting his plug in, you know. You know, I hadn't seen Rodney around lately. Not Rodney Woods, but the other Rodney that works at Unify. I hadn't seen him lately. Where is he?
You know, Rodney's probably out there doing the very thing that we're talking about doing. He's probably out there, man, trying to drive top line revenue.
Okay. Keep driving top line.
He's doing
Rodney,
his
stay
part.
on out there and get that work
man,
for Unify.
Stay out there and do it, man. Continue to drive growth. We need this facility.
Right.
And we appreciate it. But getting back from the break, now we were going into and talking about commitment. Because these corporations, these 446 corporations back in the day, they had a concept of minority inclusion under the guise of affirmative action.
Yeah.
And through the years, these groups that were originally earmarked, the categories have expanded. Not just for African American, but Hispanic, Latin American, Asian, LGBTQ, women veterans, DBE, and that's a fabulous thing.
Yeah.
Because innovation and a willingness to work and add value can be represented by communities across the spectrum.
Yeah.
But now we got hard data that says, you know what, for every dollar that's been committed to D&I or diversity and inclusion, for every dollar there's been a minimum of 8 cents profit. Now, that may not seem that significant.
Yeah.
But let me tell you,
it is.
8% is 8%.
Right.
Imagine if you're driving $1 million in revenue and you are, after all the dust settles from your cost of goods, your SG&A, also known as your operating expenses, that you're keeping 20 cents on the dollar. Now you've kept 200 grand that's available to maybe give bonuses to employees. Perhaps more importantly, hire that additional operations or support person. But most importantly, you're able to now meet debt service. Comes out of that little data point called EBITDA.
Yep.
Why do we emphasize that? Because what these corporate partners want to do is they want to change your mindset about how you view that potential relationship. They made a commitment a long time ago to create an opportunity for qualified, value-added, capable, skilled, legal firms to come into the fold and compete. And so now that you have that opportunity to compete, what they're also interested in is that you're going to be a growth partner and that you're going to reinvest in the very business that they checked off from to begin with. So that brings us to a segue to take a step back and talk about now the importance of once you get that audience and it's time to close, because they're looking for a growth partner.
No, they are.
They're looking
Absolutely.
for a subcontracting solution.
Yeah.
So now you're at the table. It's time to pitch and articulate your ability to add value. What are some of the most important things they can do when it's time to close?
I mean, as a minority-owned business, and when you have that designation of, you know, you are certified as a minority-owned, or you certified as WeBank, a woman-owned business, or LGBTQ, or, you know, disadvantaged hub zone business, they look for you to do the same as you would do with anybody else.
There you go.
They look for you to continue to do the work that you signed on to do as a business, period. Just bottom line, you still have to do the right business, right? So it's not like you get a pass to fail.
Just because you're certified.
Yeah, just because you're minority owned business don't mean you get a pass to fail, because if you're not scaling the business or just in time doing your work or your processes, and we talk about trusting the process, if it's not right, then your process is not right, you can lose that contract.
So this is not socialism.
No, it's not socialism.
This
by
is
no means.
this is responsible capitalism.
Absolutely.
Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely.
Okay, sir. Okay. Careful.
Did y'all not hear what I said?
Careful.
Absolutely.
Careful.
Okay, I got it.
All right.
No, but you got to do it right. So it does not give you a pass as a minority business just to go in and say, hey, I got this contract and I don't have to do the work. I don't have to perform as your peers or other bigger businesses that are working with them has to perform. You got to perform the same way. You got to continue to scale the business, grow the business, hire the right people, get the right technology tools, get the right tools, period, and get the right operating partners to continue to scale that business. They're not going to just give you the business because you're a minority-owned company and all of a sudden, okay, I don't have to do anything.
Sure.
Now, we did hit on some topics, Jesse.
Yes, we did.
Last week.
Yes, we did.
About certain things that's kind of a taboo thing that people don't like to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
And I went back and I think I shared with, the listening audience and the viewing public, on things that were said even at the NMSDC conference in Austin last weekend. When Emmett made a comment, and man, I'm talking about Emmett Smith quite a bit. So Emmett, you better get with us pretty soon, brother.
Hey, man, he was a dynamic speaker. And I love this segment because what he was talking about was doing good business.
Doing great business. But the thing that he said, and it's kind of like, I don't know, corporations don't want to hear it. I know the viewing public and the listening public don't want to hear it, but, and the people who are in that space, they okay. Because you know what? They got a nice contract.
Oh, yeah.
And they may be a pass-through business that can't hire other people or hire individual people or skill set labor, whatever, without going back to their partners. That's a process that I don't like.
So now we're putting a dip in it.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
The pun is intended. DIP, diversity and promotion. We're going to put a dip in it. Hold on one second. So you mean to tell me that
I don't care. I'm getting in trouble, but it's okay.
You mean to tell me that
hey, Court, I'm in trouble, man.
I've raised capital for a good business.
Yes.
I'm recognized by my industry.
You are.
Got Nexus codes to support the
you
fact
that
I can go down in any registry and you can probably find it.
Yeah.
I have now come to you as a corporation. I have solicited the opportunity to compete for that chassis system component RFP that you put out there. Okay, so here I am. I am doing my job.
Doing your job. Yes.
I'm showing up and showing out.
There you go.
Okay?
You got to show up and show out there sometimes.
You know what? You can look at my balance sheet for the past 3 or 4 years. My retained earnings is going up. I'm being responsible. I'm not driving up in a Bugatti. I'm pulling up on a RAV4 with 20s. So now I'm trying to do the right thing. I'm managing the optics, and I'm doing what I said that I would do.
Yeah.
However, you have given me $100 million worth of business. I'm coasting along. And I see Rodney Woods that I want to hire, or Robert Woods I want to hire, or I want to hire Jane Doe, because I feel like they add value. And you mean to tell me that when I go to meet with them and interview them and we go through the background check and everything is fine, that there's nothing in their background that will prohibit me from bringing them onto my team, that I can't just send them a proposal letter saying that this is the opportunity by title, compensation plan, and growth schedule? Okay. You mean to tell me I can't do that?
Well, Jesse, I'm here to tell you that if, in fact, that you are a pass-through company, the chances of you doing those things that you just alluded to won't happen.
I'm disturbed by that, sir.
You should be. That's why you should get more capital on your own business.
Wow.
Those are the things that we say. And I mean, we don't apologize for those things, and we're not mad at anybody who is a pass-through business and is not calling company names out. But you know what I mean by pass-through. You're not able to hire, or you bring on the right groups that you really want to bring on if you, as a business owner, wanted to do so. When you're pass-through, you got to go back to your partners. Whoever's writing that check.
Your growth partners.
Your growth partners. Whoever's writing that check or underwriting your operations, meaning your building.
Your sponsor.
Yeah, your manufacturing plant.
Sure.
If I own this big manufacturing plant right here and I want to go hire 20 more people, I just can't go out there and hire 20 more people. I got to go back to my growth partners and say, hey, this is what I want to do. I like that guy Robert. I like that guy Jesse. I like Rodney. I like Von Shea. I want to go bring them in because I think they can take us to another level. And they might say, hey, no, that's not going to happen. So you don't really have the control
Wow.
You know, that you would have if you have your own capital to do what you want to do in your own business. And that's just, okay, that's what it is.
So
That's what it is.
that speaks to any business owner.
Call me up if you got a question. I'll take it.
That speaks to two issues that many entrepreneurs
Yeah.
will face in this scenario. That they can either solicit that corporation, get that opportunity, grow with that corporation, but then they may have to make that tough decision, that inconvenient decision, because they've come to the
truth.
Because they've come to the truth that either they're going to have to get off the corporate teat,
Yeah.
okay, and go back and organically fund their business or raise capital for that business.
Absolutely.
Wow.
I mean,
There's no way around it.
yeah, you have your own capital.
No, there's no way around that.
No,
Yeah,
there's no way around
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I mean, you know, it's just cut and dry.
Yeah.
If you have a business, and it's, I mean, it's tough. I mean, let's face it, it's really tough. If you want to grow your business, you know, and scale the business, you got to go out and hire the right people.
Wow.
And hiring the right people takes capital, you know, or organic money. If you got a big contract and organically you grew your business, that's a wonderful thing.
Managing your cost synergies.
Man, that's a wonderful
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
But, you know, believe it or not, Jesse, you and I have seen this, and we've talked to many investing public companies, whether it be, you know, PE funds or VC funds
Some
or
VCs.
just independent accredited investors or the banks. There's a lot of money out here. But if you really don't know how to go out and attract that dollar, or you don't know how to trust, as we talked about in the last segment, if you don't really trust the process of what you got to go through to get to that capital, I mean, then you're doing your own self a disservice.
Very much so.
You're doing your own
Very
self a
much so.
disservice, you know, and what we're talking about, you know, today on this show, on the 25th of October, is that you got to trust in the process even just to become the minority-owned company that you want to become, if you want to utilize that next code as a minority, as certified as a minority-owned company, whether you're in marketing, construction, advertising, PR, widgets, you know, whatever, technology or social media company, use it.
Because the procurement opportunities are there.
The procurement opportunities
Yeah.
are there, you know, but you still got to trust in the process of getting there. And truthfully, all of us want to go to any trade show or want to go to any corporation and say, hey, hi, I'm, you know, Rodney Woods of Diversity Promotions, and I want to do business with you. Well, I got to trust in the process to understand, what am I going to this company to present first? And what are the opportunities that are there at this company that I can actually get into, that I know that I can scale if you give me the opportunity to do your, you know, your ground marketing, find all your qualified minority business. As a matter of fact, that's what we did, you know, for a living for a long time. We were hired by Corporation A, Toyota One in particular, how we learned a lot. We were hired by them to go out and find you as a qualified minority business. I was hired to find you.
That outreach.
That outreach program to find you as a minority-owned business. And then when I saw you, you said, well, I'm not certified. I'm not going to get certified. And I'm like, well, you probably won't get a contract. You know? So
Or at least have an opportunity to compete for.
well, yes. And a lot of companies that are smaller in scale, you have to partner sometimes.
Sure.
You know, but you got to trust in the process that, if you partner, that somebody's going to accept the checks and write the checks. There's somebody going to make sure operations is running smoothly and running right, because we've seen all that. If you don't
Yes,
have it
we
right,
have.
you don't have the processes
Yes, we
right,
have.
which is what Gwen talked about. If you don't have the processes right, you're going to run into all those problems. But anyway, I'm not going to, you know, just harbor on that, but we got to take a quick break. So we're here October 25th. We're in the studios of Unified Network.
Networks in Frisco, Texas.
I'm Rodney Woods, and he is
Jesse McRae.
We'll be back after the break.
Still looking for his fritters. In a minute.
School's over. What's next? Imagine a place where friendly faces say hello. You grab a healthy snack, have fun, and play a little. Imagine a place where you get lost in a book. Get help with homework. or learn in the computer lab, where you create something cool. Kids take the stage, and you get some exercise. Imagine a safe place where you hang out with friends. Your voice matters, and someone's always there to listen. A place where you like spending the afternoon, and you can't wait to tell someone all about it. The club is a fun, positive, and safe place to grow. A place to become anything you dream. Boys and Girls Clubs. Great futures start here.
All right, we're back at Penn Global News, October 25th. My man in the house with me every Thursday, my boy Jesse McRae.
In the words of DLC, y'all ready for this?
Claiborne, Jesse Claiborne, McRae III.
Tell us, is it funky enough?
But now we're back, man. Hey, listen, we're talking about trusting in the process.
Yes, indeed.
Right?
Yes, indeed.
Trusting in the process.
Yes,
we
indeed.
carried this on from the last week's show to this week, Jesse, and you have to really trust in the process. Everybody does not always want to trust in the process. I want it today. I want either I want my capital today, or I want my procurement contract today. And we get it. And sometimes we're upset at others who won't give us the contract, because I too. You know, I probably chased some contracts for a long time and really didn't get the opportunity I really wanted. But then I got to sit back and ask myself, what did I do wrong? You know, did I not show up enough? Did I not present the right stuff to them? Did I not know exactly what they were looking for, and I kept missing out on what I was trying to ask? It's a lot of things. So you still got to work. You know, you got to work at your craft. You got to perfect your craft. You got to continue to work at your company. Same thing, same process.
But understanding that even with DIP, Diversity and Promotions, we're a growth partner with you. We're a procurement partner with you.
Yeah.
You know, Diversity and Promotions, as a sister company to Playbook Investors Network, LLC, what we're here to do is to deploy our resources to align with you in two ways. Most importantly is to understand what your particular product or service is. Because in order for you to, it's one thing to be identified, it's another thing for you to be positioned to compete and hopefully have success. We have dedicated persons, we have a relationship manager that will be on site with you to handle that initial engagement, to carefully circle, articulate, and draw out a plan, execution plan based upon your commodity or service. Do a lot of due diligence and market fragmentation on the front end so that you have detailed analysis and can go into those opportunities far more intelligent. But most importantly, as your growth partner at Diversity and Promotions, we're there to help you close. Because again, it's a partnership. Very similar to the due diligence platform at Playbook. But on the procurement side, this is about that revenue, the lifeblood of any concern. And so certainly as a tangible takeaway, understand that this segment is about how do we position you to close? Because that is the point, to get the audience, to demonstrate your ability to add value, and help close to get that contract.
And when you speak about, you know, Jesse, closing, a lot of businesses have to perfect that closing.
Oh, wow.
You know,
yes,
because, you know, and everybody is not the most skillful person to go do a presentation. And I kind of push on both sides. I know the corporations wants to hear from the minority standpoint. Corporations want to hear from you as a CEO of your company.
Yep.
And that is true. I don't always say that's the right thing, because you may have hired somebody who can go do all your presentations and pitch the company and know the company intimately.
Absolutely.
That they can actually talk about the business and what we do. And that goes back into your marketing. That goes back into your social media. That goes back into your advertising. Or it goes back into you having, you know, a web face here at Unified Network that you can actually display who you are as a CEO. But you do have employees, and money that you deployed to your company, it was to buy those type of people. So I kind of like, I hear the corporations always speaking about, well, we need to meet the CEO of the company. I'm not going to always say that's right. You're not going to always meet the CEO of the company. And I know because you're smaller in size, corporations want to see you as that CEO. But I'm not going to always say that that's like the right thing to do. If you got a good representative on your team, a good RM on your team, or a good presenter on your team that knows everything about your business, I think that's sufficient.
But
I think it's sufficient. I'm not saying I'm right, because corporation, you still got the checkbook.
Still got the checkbook. And see,
Yeah.
being devil's advocate, we
Yeah.
understand why they want to see the CEO. Okay.
Yeah,
Because I'm curious as to whether or not, and let's just narrow the scope a little bit. Let's just say from the perspective of a tier 3.
Yeah.
The smallest of the small.
Okay.
In this context, we happen to be talking about a tier 3 that represents a community of color or a community of gender or what have you.
Okay.
Are we saying that perhaps this corporation has that sensitivity to engage senior level management because of size? Or is there more of a tendency in your experience for them to want to engage senior level management as it relates to the ethnicity, but it also has to be because of the size? How much of it is qualitative and how much of it is quantitative?
Well, Jesse, to answer that question, your senior level management may be just you.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
It may just be you as the sole owner of your business. You're the marketing, advertising, social media, your PR arm, you're the operator, you're everything in your business. So it may just be that person. And we know that. And we know that by seeing minority businesses around the country, whether we going into, Tennessee, or we going into Florida, or we're going to Georgia. You and I were just in Florida a couple of weeks with a lot of minority businesses, with Beatrice Group.
With the Florida Council.
With the Florida Council that was trying to get in the network. Whether you and I were in Indiana with AD and the fellas and Tracy and all those guys.
Carolyn.
And with Carolyn Mosby at Mid-States. We see all these small businesses, right? So you as a small business may be that CEO, that operator, the CFO, the COO, the marketing, advertising, social media, you everything. And corporations want to see you. That's true. But then too, if they really don't know who you are, they don't know if, okay, you are a CEO and you do have a COO, or you have a marketing company or a marketing person or a PR person. So you really don't know, because you're not going, and I say it like it is. So you're not going to ask Michael Dell to come to your event, and I want to meet with Michael Dell.
And that was my point.
No, you're not going to do that. You're not going to ask, Howard Schwartz, when he was at Starbucks, to come, meet with you. You're not going to take Jack Ma from Alibaba to come meet with you.
Would you ask Bob Johnson?
No, you're not going to ask Bob Johnson.
Magic?
You're not going to ask Magic.
So now,
and if you do ask Magic, you're going to pay Magic a check to come just speak at your group.
So you're suggesting that those sensitivities have more so to do with the sheer size.
I think size has a lot to do with it.
Anything else?
Yeah, I think size has a lot
to
do with it, not just, quote unquote, the individual.
And that's plausible then, because they want to know.
Yeah.
What happens when they become a tier 2? What happens when they become a prime? Because now we're getting more so into, if we really want to be devil's advocate, and want to turn the mirror around to the corporation and say, look, this is what you wanted. You wanted to be my growth partner, did you not?
Yeah.
And now I have grown. I've demonstrated that value. You've given me more contracts. I've grown, and I've hired really, really good talent. Yeah. So is it necessary that you see me at every meeting, or that you see me strategically throughout the year?
Well, for me, it's a kind of sensitive subject. Sure. Because I've been in the game as a minority business. I've grown my business. I do recall being with a lot of other small businesses like myself, continue to scale and grow, and you can't be everywhere, at every meeting, even as the CEO of DIP or the CEO of Playbook Investors Network, or I saw, or even Emmett Smith, being with his company, or Mike Williams. I remember we were trying to get Mike contracts, 3i Construction. We were trying to get him contracts, and every major corporation wanted to see Mike Williams. And I understand, you can't be in every meeting. That's why you have capital. That's why you scale the company. That's why you grow the company. That's why you hire other good talent, good talent around you, good people who understand your core business. Now, there's a process. You got to understand everything about the business. You know, and I truly believe in that. You got to understand your core business, and you got to understand when you walk into that major corporation, you got to understand what that business is and where you can add value to that business. You just can't walk into it, and I'm quite sure every diversity manager that sees us or hear us saying the same thing. They preach all the time. Don't come in here telling me how can I help you. This ain't McDonald's.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, bring a solution.
Yeah, this ain't McDonald's, this ain't Whataburger, this ain't Chick-fil-A. Well, how can I help you? No, you should go in there and saying, this is what I have to offer you. And I know that you guys are looking for, you know, solar panel companies, and I'm a solar panel company. Or I'm looking for tire and wheel assembly. I'm a tire and wheel assembly, and I can assist you in your tire and wheel, and I can perform. Just like you know, you got to be able to do those things. And I mean, we're not telling you that it's right, we're not telling you it's wrong, but I'm telling you this is what we hear. This is what every manager at every major corporation, whether they're a buyer or whether they're a diversity manager, they're going to tell you the same thing. Don't come here asking me, how can you help us? That's just not going to work. It's not going to work. I'm telling you it's not going to work. So
Going with a solution.
Yeah, you got to go in with a solution.
Yeah.
You got to know the core business that you're going in and ask for. Just hint, if you're a business, it's okay to look at the major corporation and look down at the bottom of their website and look at their, you know, their company information. Whether you look at the growth of the company, the shareholders, you know, meetings, or you look at all the public information is down at the bottom that you can go out and you can say, wow, I see that Fifth Third Bank is putting $30 billion on the ground and they're trying to do A, B, C, D, E, and F. Then understand where you align yourself.
One of the most important drop downs you'll find on any of these websites,
Right.
outside of contact us and about us and history, 2 words, press releases.
Press releases.
1 word, announcements.
Yep.
Can't emphasize that enough. Why? Because they're making that information available because they want to promote the fact that there's activity, that there's growth, and if it's a particular initiative, like what we find with many of these financial institutions, they can't wait to get the word out there that they're creating opportunity for qualified minority, women-owned, LGBTQ, veteran-owned businesses.
Yeah.
So do your due diligence. It's really, really simple. The information is there. Allow Playbook Investors Network at www.playbookinvestorswithansnetwork.com or diversityandpromotions.com. If it's capital access, we have an ecosystem to help you. If it's procurement, we have a process that can help you. But in either way, do something to position your business to grow.
Yeah, I mean, you have to. You have to position yourself to scale your business, grow your business. It's your business.
It is your business.
It's your business whether you scale it, grow it, or fail. It's your business still. And you know, if you got capital from any investor, then you got a fiduciary responsibility of that money from your investor.
Yes,
and
you do.
We know that. And you know, you just have to abide by that. You have to still continue to trust in the process to make your company, you know, more sustainable, or trust in the process of getting certified and going through the certification process, but get to know exactly what, you know, the certification means and where you can take it. You know, if you sit on it, show up, that's your fault. That's truly your fault. If you don't show up, that's your fault. If Margot and Andrew and them are having sessions, hard hat sessions or marketing sessions or what have you, you got to show up. And I know it's tough when you're a small business because you got to run the business, then you got to still show up.
Oh, yeah.
So with that being said, we're going to take a break. We'll be back in a moment with Rodney Woods and Jesse McRae, October 25th at PN Global News.
In a minute.
Hello, I'm Randall Bird. I'm a gynecologist on staff at Texas Health Center for Diagnostics and Surgery. Robotic surgery is certainly a portion of the future of medicine. Through the use of computer-assisted technology, the robot allows patients to have less pain, a shorter hospitalization, and it allows them to return to their work and their lifestyle much faster. My patients particularly appreciate the care they receive at Texas Health Center for Diagnostics and Surgery. The nursing staff always gets high marks, and they're specially trained to deal with patients after minimally invasive surgery. The facility is beautiful, and the food is excellent. If you're considering a gynecological procedure, major or minor, please speak with your physician. And remember, the physicians on staff at Texas Health Center for Diagnostics and Surgery are always available to help.
We're back.
We're back. Jesse McRae, Rodney Woods.
Rodney Woods.
PN Global News on the 25th.
On the 25th of October. PN Global News.
Now, you know what's happening? See, we're getting close to Halloween. One of my favorite.
And I'm going to
candies.
play some type of character.
He gonna play a character. He plays it every day. I work with the guy. I know.
Every day. We're going to laugh and smile every day.
But we're getting close to Halloween.
Yeah.
Now, I did come in soliciting the fact that I like to have my apple fritters and coffee and all that when I come back to Unified Network Studios here in Frisco, Texas. Since Halloween's coming up, get me a jumbo-sized bag of Smarties or some candy corn. We're golden after that. Okay, if the apple fritters is a stretch, I know where you can get some Smarties. I'm that guy. Anyway, all humor aside.
Jesse and his request.
If you don't ask, you don't get.
Yeah, you're right.
Closed
Closed
mouth get fed.
will not get fed.
A empty Halloween lantern.
Yeah.
No candy. If you
No
ring doorbell.
candy.
No candy.
Yeah.
We're back, man.
Well, we're
Good
back.
stuff.
Yeah.
A lot to talk about. A lot to get through.
Yeah, and we still continue to just, drive home trust in the process, trust in the process of certification,
Sure.
trust in the process. If you really don't know what minority inclusion really means, diversity and inclusion, just go out to the website.
Yep.
Just go to NMSDC, National Minority Supply Development Council, or you can go to WeBank, or you can go to LGBTQ. If you want to go to government, you can look at everything is out there in Google.
Met some great folks from WeBank.
Yeah.
Man, what an organization.
Yeah.
And talk about a universe of just powerful, accomplished women that are really, really building a presence in the marketplace.
Yep.
But they're also certified as such.
Certified.
So we just can't seem to get away from that.
Well, and some companies are like, man, I'm not getting certified.
Hey.
I'm like, listen,
No problem.
I would recommend you to go get certified
Yep.
as a if you are and you got to understand who you are first as a business. So either you're going to be an African American business, get certified. You are going to be an Asian business, get certified. You're going to be a Hispanic business, get certified. Woman-owned, get certified. LGBTQ, and that's a lot of variables in the LGBTQ, certification, but understand what that is.
Because you're business owners too.
If you're government business, you know what that is, because the government, there is certain designations you're going to have, and certain things, guidelines you have to follow.
Yes,
If
indeed.
they told you to write a 25-page, document, it better be 25 pages. And if they said 25 pages and 100 other words, it better be 25 pages and 100 words.
If it's 101,
that's right. You can forget it.
it's a wrap. And I know that sounds trivial, but let me tell you,
Yeah,
they got that process refined. But let's go back to a couple of things that I know that when you and I talked before the show, that we wanted to make sure that we send home. And even if it sounds repetitive, we can't drive it home enough outside of certification.
Yeah.
Is understand that these opportunities are being created for you to compete, so it's not a guarantee.
Yeah.
It's not a guarantee. But then the other part is, once you get the contract, the responsibility that you have to honor all of your commitments. Because it's not Toyota's job to meet the debt service on that loan that you got, or meet the debt service to your investors.
Right.
It is their job to follow through with the commitment that they made that got you there, position you to get the contract, and hopefully position you to succeed. So again, the importance of going in, doing the right thing as relates to them as your growth partner, and then doing the right thing by your business, because the only reason that you're there is to compete. But once you compete and win, your responsibility to be a good fiduciary.
And you got to add value. You have to add value to the corporations that you're working for as well. And they will, and maybe they do and maybe they don't, but you need to be more innovative. You want to stay in the process, you want to stay in the game. You got to be innovative. You got to create some other verticals for yourself. I would always tell any small business, whether you're minority owned or woman owned, whatever, don't sit in one lane with just one client with your business.
For too long.
Because if something happens, or you don't meet the right goals, or you don't follow the right processes, or you don't have enough capital, you're going to lose.
That's funny you say that. 'Cause back in the days of
you
capital
are going
markets,
to lose.
They always told us as newly mint brokers.
Okay.
They always said, hey, Jesse, you're going to derive 80% of your business from 20% of your book.
Okay.
So knowing that the lion's share of your exposure is with a narrow or a small number of clients, always be looking to diversify your book.
Yeah.
So that's really in the spirit of what you're saying.
You got to diversify you got to diversify your portfolio of clients or growth partners, companies you're working for and with, that you can continue to scale, but you got to get in and understand what that means, right? Because if you don't, you can lose. I think we've seen major corporations, Circuit City, and a lot of vendors went away overnight. There was a company recently that just shut all their doors, and employees didn't even know that they were getting ready to close. But if that was the only business you retain, you're done. I mean, you're absolutely out of business with no revenues coming in. So now you really gonna have some challenges if you got a fiduciary responsibility of the investors' money. So, we advocate and we advocate and we advocate and we champion. All businesses need to continue to have more business. But you got to scale the business. You got to understand the process of certain businesses, the process of your own business. Because if you can't really explain the process of your own business, why would you think that somebody's going to give you a contract?
Right.
If you can't explain your own business and understand the process of your own business and how it works, why would somebody give you a contract? Because you certify as minority business? No, wrong, not going to happen.
Right.
There is certain things that we call luck, and luck does happen. So we won't play with that. Luck does happen.
So you're saying that sometimes it's actually better to be lucky than good?
Yeah. What? Yeah. Lucky. We've seen some lucky companies.
Because I know you're a basketball fan, and I know even your days playing professionally, you saw some players that didn't quite have the form, didn't quite have the speed, they weren't as agile.
Yeah.
But they were good at what they did, rarely shot. But every now and then when they did shoot, the ball would roll in. But the key was them being in the game.
Being in the game.
So,
you gotta be in the game.
Is that what this is about?
I mean,
Position yourself to be in the game?
Jesse, I mean, you and I have talked about this for 2 years or more.
Yeah.
And not only just the 2 years that you've been in this game, but you've been in another financial game for years and years and years. For 20 years ago when I knew you
first
back
met.
in the game.
Sure.
But it's always just being in the game. You got to be in the game, and even if you're sitting on a bench, you're still in the game.
You're
still
available to come in.
I mean, a team is a team. So let's don't, whether you're motivating your team member or you're motivating the company. It's not the same game, because sitting on a bench getting a check is one thing, but you're in the game, right? But you're in the business, you really in the game because you're doing something to get that check every 2 weeks or every month or whatever. So it's being in the game. You have to be in the game. If you're not in the game, you're not getting anything.
But, to piggyback off that, we always get a lot of looks when they get our card and it says game changer. Had that come up the other day, didn't it? In Austin. Say, hey, I love that you're game changers. And we're talking about being either in the game or being on the bench, prepared to come in the game. But being a game changer means that in some respects you have the ability to do your part in influencing the game, helping to craft the rules of the game, or those that have set the rules, keeping them honest.
Yeah.
And so I pose this question, because we think about Penn, we think about DIP and being game changers. Last week's show you talked about, hey, we're going to call out some corporations, not by name, but by acts. We're going to call out some business owners, not by name, but by acts.
Yeah.
But in order for us to change the game, the most important thing that we do, whether it be at www.playbookinvestorsnetwork.com or at Diversity and Promotions, is our contribution to changing the game. It's not only be candid with you with regard to utilizing our platform to do your assessment, to reveal the potential issues, that we have a diverse group of third-party service providers in our ecosystem to help you resolve, positioning you in front of the right audience to hopefully access capital, or on the procurement side, making sure that we align ourselves with you as a growth partner to understand your particular commodity or service, lay out a framework based upon the market fragmentation and the data that we have for you to better understand the opportunity that's in front of you, but also helping you to close. But we change the game because we want to not so much shorten the process, but be thorough in our completion of the process. And that's really what we've been saying, is that if you're going to play in this procurement space, be willing to go through that process, the certification, the data analysis, the audience engagement, and then the close. If it's about the capital access, it's making sure that you honestly assess your capabilities and your opportunities to improve.
Right, correct.
Be willing to invest in the ecosystem that's available to help you remedy some of these issues to position you to tell a better growth and risk story. So with that, Rodney, I know that when we were in Austin, one of the funniest moments that we had.
Well, we had a lot of funny
We had
moments.
a lot of funny moments. But one of the funniest moments that we had.
We had a lot of funny moments.
One of the funniest moments that we had was actually when we visited with Emmett after his talk, leaving the hotel.
Yeah.
And we were just standing there talking. And the thing about Emmett, great talk. A lot of
Yeah.
people came around and gave him accolades.
Yeah.
But his part of that process of engagement and member enrichment was pretty much done. He was on his way leaving.
Yeah.
But Emmett decided to stay because he said, hey, I'm a part of this process, and the fact that you were willing to come up and engage me and let me know that there was something that you got from my talk, you're saying that, hey, I appreciate that process.
Yeah.
So the thing is, if you're willing to engage Emmett for what he's done, be willing to engage these corporations for what they can do,
Yeah.
what they can help you do.
I agree.
And I know that resonated with you because
Yeah.
we talked a lot about the history that you had with
Yeah.
many of the corporations and Emmett and the likes in particular.
Yeah, we had some. It wasn't really a funny moment, but you know, I didn't hit Emmett with that one because I remember when he was getting in the game, and I had already gotten in the game, and you know, I give a lot of credit to Toyota, of course, but I give a lot of credit to Mike Williams, who always used to say, Rodney, you know, you got to understand this game. You know, you got to trust this process, man, because, dude, this is a whole nother game. And the way you're going about it, you're going to get there, but you got to, man, you got to really, you got to craft this thing. You got to trust it, man. You got to stay in it. And you got to do what you're doing. And Emmett also said, man, Rodney, you're one of the best networkers, you know, I know. Which I was like, wow, okay, thanks, Emmett, you know, appreciate it. But I remember going to New York City, and we went to the $1 Billion Roundtable. And I was telling Emmett, I'm trying to pass it on. This is not football now. This is basketball. I mean, this is just business. It's not football. It's not basketball. But you got to trust in the game, and you got to trust in this process. They know who you are, and he'll probably kill me about this, but they know who you are. But you got to trust in this process, man, because it's a process you got to go through, Emmett. Because now you're transitioning from, you know, Emmitt Smith, you know, Super Bowl champion and prolific, you know, running back to, you know, you E. Smith Communication, you E. Smith Realty Group, and so on and so forth. So you got to trust the process. So I said, so when you get there, just get up and tell people who you are and just say a snippet of your business. Sit down. Man, Emmett got up. I'm Emmitt Smith. I'm such and such, and I don't understand why you corporations ain't doing business with me. And they kind of chuckle a bit like, well, Emmett, hold that thought. We'll come back and get you out to the break. Emmett was pissed. He was pissed. And he left right after. He didn't come back. As a matter of fact, yeah, he can correct me later on, but he didn't come back. He left New York City and went home. I think he was very, very upset. But I've seen Emmett from afar grow his business, and he stayed active. And he trusted the process, and he continued to go to different corporations. And it's good that he is Emmitt Smith. You know, as we tell T-Mac, you know, you Tracy McGrady, you can walk in the door.
You're going to garner certain
Right.
audiences.
You're going to definitely garner certain audiences, but you got to continue to trust the process, but you got to continue to show up too.
Yep.
You know, and that's part of it. You got to stay and show and stay in the game. So I commend Emmett, you know, for doing this. We always commend, you know, Tracy and all our partners for being a part of what we do today here at PN Global News, as well as Playbook Investors Network and Diversity and Promotions. But we stand in the game. It's just now we try to have a platform that we can educate, you know, others and other businesses on how they stay in the game.
Sure.
If you're serious about your business, and it may not be for everybody, but stay in the game, continue to show up. You got to show up. But what we're going to do, we're going to take a break, take us away.
Going to take us a break. This is the part that I hate.
Just, you know what? This show went so fast that I truly apologize, viewing audience and listeners, but you know what? This is going to be the end of our show today.
This is really the part that I hate.
Yeah, it just went so fast.
It went so fast.
See, we show up here to do this PN Global News show.
At Unified Networks
At
in
Unified
Frisco,
Network.
Texas.
And we show up every Thursday, but sometimes, you know, and I told them and I was real. We were kind of raw with it. We ain't getting paid for this.
No.
This is the goodness of our heart that we want to educate you on how to really show up and stay in the game and scale. Hire more people and hire people look like you too. So sometimes we get caught up in the moment, but this is real. You need to, you know, really take your business to another level, and you need to really, you know, trust in the process of where you're going through, whether it be capital, whether it be certification, whether it be working with other minority businesses or other woman-owned business or other corporations. Just trust in the process. So I'm sorry, I apologize that this is not going to be a break. This is going to be, we're going to see you next Thursday at 10 a.m.
Central Standard Time.
Central Standard Time here at PN Global News. I'm Rodney Woods.
Jesse McRae.
And we'll see you guys next Thursday at 10 a.m. Have a great weekend.
Best of luck to you.